Hello learners. Today in this video we shall discuss one of the most important subject OOPS, object oriented programming, and we shall discuss the most asked interview questions of object oriented programming. In this video basically we shall discuss 15 most asked questions. First we shall discuss like what is the particular question, how can we answer with some examples, and then I'll be giving a clear interview answer which you can directly say for the interviewer in your interview. Okay, now we shall proceed with our first question. Okay, now what do you understand by object oriented programming? If this question is asked, I think most of you know what is object oriented programming concept. See, basically in object oriented programming, what we do is we create some kind of blueprint or predefined model known as class. This class consists of features that can be used by the objects that are being created from these. For instance, I'm taking example of one of the most popular phones, Samsung S24. So I'm taking this example assuming by my own. Okay, now Samsung S24. See, this Samsung S24 has three models in it, right? Simple S24, S24 Plus, and S24 Ultra. Now what Samsung does is it will create a class named Samsung. Okay, now in this what will be happening is it consists of all the required features like camera, AI features, call, etc. Now from this blueprint it will be creating its objects. That means it will create new things: S24, S24 Plus, and S24 Ultra, which consist all the features from this Samsung. So even this can be applied in our programming. Okay, now we shall discuss. If I was asked this question, hey, what do you understand by object oriented programming? My answer would be, sir, object oriented programming is a kind of programming where the complete software operates as a bunch of objects interacting with each other. So each object is a collection of data and methods. So a key concept of OOPS are objects and classes. So this would be my answer for this question. Okay, now we shall go to, I think we can go to our next question. Okay, why should one prefer OOPS? Okay, this is one of the questions that might seem very simple, but many guys get packed by seeing this question, because we know what is OOPS actually, but why OOPS means we doesn't get any idea. Okay, now we shall discuss why OOPS. Okay, the main, see, as I said in the previous example, what Samsung does, it will create a class known as Samsung, and it will create the new models or objects S24, S24 Plus, S24 Ultra. Now the first advantage, or why we should prefer OOPS, is modularity. See, what is modularity? See, now I am dividing a single phone into three different parts. I am breaking it into modules so that it becomes easier to identify or update any new features in the future. So the first advantage is going to be modularity. Okay, now my second advantage is, this is one of the most important advantage, reusability, ability to reuse the model or the blueprint. See, now in order to create this S24, S24 plus and S24 Ultra, Samsung doesn't create or write new code again. It will again use the same features of camera, of AI or call. It will use the same features and create this object. So the second advantage is reusability. Okay, now the third advantage is going to be maintainability. Okay, maintainability, it just means that it is easy, it is very easy to maintain and update the oops code, as it is divided into many modules, so it is so easy. And the fourth advantage why only oops is security. Okay, security. See, oops has a feature called access specifiers, which makes an oops program very much secure. So these are the four advantages. So now if I was asked this question, hey, why should one prefer object oriented programming instead of others? So sir, object oriented programming should be preferred than others. Some of advantages of object oriented programming are modularity. Sir, we can divide our code into multiple submodules. Okay, second one, reusability. Sir, we can create a single class and create multiple objects for it and reuse the class any number of times without wasting any space. And the third advantage is maintainability. Sir, in oops it is very easy to update or understand the code as it is divided into sub modules. And the fourth advantage is security. So oops follows some kind of access specifiers and abstraction features which makes it more secure compared to other programming paradigms. So that's why I prefer oops than others. So this would be my answer. Okay, now we shall jump into our third question. Oh, this is one of the basic questions, but still a definition might be a bit tricky if you start. Can you explain what is a class? See, as I previously said, what is a class? A class is just a kind of blueprint. Okay, it is just a kind of blueprint. It consists of all the required variables like x, y, z, and also many methods like sum, subtraction. If and even we can take our previous Samsung example where Samsung is a class, it consists of all the required features. Okay, now if this question was asked for me, hey, can you explain what a class is in oops? So a class in object-oriented programming is a blueprint or template that can be used to create multiple objects. It defines a set of attributes and methods that can be used to create objects. Okay, this is what my answer is going to be. This is one of the basic questions, and we shall discuss one other basic question where the definition might be a bit tricky. What is an object in the context of OOP? Okay, see, what is an object? See, in the previous example from Samsung we got three objects. From Samsung class we got S24, S24 Plus and S24 Ultra, which 100% consists the features of the Samsung. So this S24, S24 Plus and S24 Ultra are the objects. See, what I'm doing here is, this is just an instant. See, these S24, S24 plus and S24 are some instances. At this instant I'm creating a new object, a new item from the existing blueprint. Okay, this is for the basic concept here. Now if I was asked this question in the interview, hey, what is an object in the context of oops? Sir, an object is an instance of a class. It consists of attributes, that is data, and methods, that is functions, that are already been defined in the class. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now this is one of the most common questions, right? What are the what are the key features of OOPS? Key features. See, sometimes generally we know the answer, but we could not understand the English. See, main features of OOPS or pillars of OOPS means there are four main pillars or features in object oriented programming. I think many of you knows. We shall discuss in detail each and everything. First one is encapsulation, second one is data abstraction, and third one is poly means many, polymorphism. Okay, and the fourth is inheritance. Okay, see, we shall detailedly discuss each and every concept in the coming questions, because each and every side heading in this answer can give rise to a new question. See, if I see the next question, see, what is encapsulation? See, each and every side heading in this answer gives rise to a new question. Okay, now if someone asks you, don't try to over elaborate it. Just what did he ask? Hey, what are the features of object oriented programming? So the main features of object oriented programming are encapsulation, data abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. Okay, see, he asked only features, answer only features. If he asked to explain them in detail, okay, we shall go into them. Now we shall go to our next question. What is encapsulation in OOPS? Okay, as the name suggests, capsule. What is capsule, dude? What is capsule? Capsule means a kind of tablet in which all the required medicines are being combined in a single capsule, right? Similarly, in OOPS, we combine data, that is variables, and methods, that is functions, under a single unit called as capsule. Now in the previous Samsung example, there might be many features in this Samsung, like it may have a camera function, it may have some kind of AI feature function, it may have some kind of gaming boost function. So these all are being wrapped under a single unit termed as class and given a name. Here Samsung is known as encapsulation. If I was asked this question in interview, hey, what is encapsulation in OOP? So encapsulation is the binding and wrapping of data and methods into a single unit such that the sensitive data of class is hidden from the users. Okay, even it can be used for extra security too. That's why I added some tail. Okay, now we shall go to our next question. Okay, how would you define abstraction in object oriented programming? See, this is our second pillar or feature. Okay, we completed the first feature, encapsulation. Now comes abstraction. As the term suggests here, abstract. What is abstract? Abstract means show only what is required. Okay, show only what is required. See, for example, again we shall take the Samsung example. Now if I am using a Samsung S24 Ultra phone, now I can take a snapshot, I can take a pic, but I don't know how actually internally Samsung written the code of it. I just know if I click on the button of snapshot, I will be getting the picture. That is only thing what the users like me or us know, but we don't know how actually internally it works. Samsung keeps it private, or it secures it for to increase the security of the system. That is one of the advantages of OOPS. Okay, showing only what is required, not showing the irrelevant and complex implementation. Okay, now if this question was asked for me, hey, what is abstraction in object oriented programming? So abstraction in object oriented programming is the concept of showing only the necessary information and features of an object and hiding the irrelevant info and complex implementation details in order to increase the security of the software is known as abstraction. So okay, that's cool. Now we shall jump into our eighth question. Oh, we are getting all our four pillars continuously, right? This is our third pillar of oops, that is polymorphism. As the name suggests, I think most of us know polygon in math, polythene in chemistry. Hey, poly means many. But what is many in software? See, look, what is many in software means, look, I wrote a function of sum. Okay, I defined sum of a comma b. I said with this function I can just add two numbers and return the answer, return a plus b. If I write sum of 5 comma 6, it will be yielding an output of 11 and it is correct. But tomorrow what other guys do is they will write sum of 5 6 7. What will happen? No, it will not generate the output, because here our code is accepting only two parameters. Some might include four parameters here. This also will not generate output. In order to encounter this particular problem of parameters, what oops does is it does polymorphism. Now to even accept a function that could accept three arguments, I will define function, look, with same name I'm defining it. Okay, I'll say just return a plus b plus c. Now even this code will be returning an output. It is not wrong now, it is correct, and it will be generating of 5 plus 6 11 plus 7 is 18, huh? Sorry 19. I'm a bit weak in math, sorry dude. I just did 18, right? Yeah, 18. Cool. Okay, now so we can write multiple functions with same name. We can write multiple functions with same name, but that might differ in arguments or the return type. Okay, I can say instead of return here, I can just say print a plus b. Okay, I can just say print a plus b with kind of void. Okay, see, now I think everyone understood. See, even there are two types of polymorphisms: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Okay, now in compile time polymorphism, as I said, there are two or more functions with same name but different number of arguments or the return type. But in runtime polymorphism, the beauty and the absurd thing is that two or more functions will have same name, same return type, same number of arguments. I think most of you got shocked. How can it exist? Yes, it exists. We shall discuss this particular concept in the coming question, as there is a separate question regarding this compile time and runtime polymorphism. And here the question is just what is polymorphism, right? We need not over elaborate the answer. So if 100% we shall discuss this answer, it is going to come in the future questions for sure, I promise it. Okay, now if I was asked, hey, what is polymorphism in object oriented programming? Sir, polymorphism, as the name suggests, many forms, is the ability of an object to respond method call in different and multiple ways. In polymorphism, there might be two or more functions with same name but with different outputs. Sir, there are two types of polymorphisms: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Sir, under compile time polymorphism, there are two or more functions with same name but different return type or different number of arguments. But in runtime polymorphism, sir, two or more functions exist with same name, same return type, and also same number of arguments. Okay, now this question is over. Now we shall go to our next question. I think obviously this is going to be your fourth pillar: inheritance. Something is coming in inheritance. Okay, inheritance. See, what is this inheritance means? Child class will inherit properties from the parent. It is very confusing. See, I'll explain you. See, there is a phone S24. Okay, S24. Okay, and this upgraded model of this phone is S24 plus, and upgraded version of these two phones is S24 Ultra. Now look at this. If S24 has 10 features, S24 Plus will have of course 10 features, but it also might have some extra features too. Okay, but it will surely have all these 10 features. Okay, it is inheriting. See, this S24 Plus is inheriting the properties from S24. Okay, S24 Plus is inheriting properties from S24. Same goes with S24 Ultra also. It will inherit the same properties from S24 Plus but with some extra features. Okay, this might have extra features. Okay, now here S24 Ultra copies the properties of S24 plus. S24 plus inherits or copies the properties of S24. Okay, this is what called inheritance. Okay, now if I was asked this question in interview, hey, what is inheritance in OOP and what purpose does it serve? Okay, so inheritance in object-oriented programming is a mechanism by which one child class can inherit properties and methods from other classes. The class which is derived is called as child class, and the class from which child classes are been derived is called a parent class or superclass. Okay, so the second part of your question, what purpose does it serve? So the main purpose of inheritance is to increase the code reusability. Okay, so this is what regarding inheritance. See, sometimes what happens is, as here, see here an extra tail of the question has been added. See, we prepared inheritance, but the interviewer asked what purpose does it serve. So instantaneously we can think and say, see, this S24 plus is copying the properties of S24. S24 Ultra is copying the properties of S24 plus. That means no need to write the same code in S24 Ultra again. Simply it will copy. That is where reusability comes. So the main purpose is reusability. Okay, now we shall go into our next question. Oh, what are access specifiers? Okay, I think most of you know this answer, but some might confuse. Okay, now see, access specifiers. Access. What is access? Generally in real life, access specifiers means the range up till which a person or something can go. Suppose if I take an example, see, generally access specifiers are of three types, dude. Okay, three types. First is, okay, sorry, just a minute, dude, this guy is not supporting me today. Okay, first is public, second is protected. It gets protected. We shall discuss each and every part. Private. Okay, these are the three parts. Now if I have to go for the example, look, see, for instance, take a newly born child. Okay, take a newly born child. See, this newly born child is being known, his range is only until home. See, only people in his home, his mom, his dad, his grandfather, grandmother, can only identify him. Others cannot, because they don't know him. This guy did not communicate with the neighbors. Okay, these guys don't know him, so it is private. Now, second, protected. Protected means we can take example of all of us. See, when we become young, we grow. What we do is we interact with many persons and get connected with them. So in protected, there is a higher range. We get connected to more people. Now, what is public? Public means worldwide, whole, overall. You can say celebrities here as example. If you take Ronaldo or the World Cup winners like Messi, or in cricket you can take Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, the World Cup winners, these guys are popular overall world. Overall earth knows them. The range is in the overall earth. So you can compare similarly even in oops there is the kind of range as in human life. There is same kind of range for them. Okay, in now in public, what, see, in private first. Okay, I started with private, right? In private, what happens is data members are known only by the class. Only the class will know the data. It will know about it. It may be function, it may be data. Only the particular class in which it is defined will know it. None others. No neighbors will know, no universe will know. Only the class. No, protected means young. That means, of course, the defined class will know it. Also the connected inherited child classes know about it. Okay, see, here not only the class but also the other connected inherited child class is also will know about it. Now, public, as I said, public, everyone will know it. Celebrities, goats. Now, private means you see everywhere. No, if I was asked what are access specifiers in OOPS and why are they important, so majorly there are three access specifiers in OOPS which define range and scope of data members in a program. So they are public, protected and private. So public members are accessible everywhere in the program or in any code segment. So second type is protected. So protected members are accessible within the same class and also the inherited class, sir. And the third type is private. It is only accessible in its own defined class but not outside of the class. Okay, now this is what my interview answer. Now once check it the answer. Okay, it's cool. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of object-oriented programming? See, this is one of the questions where many get absolutely packed, because see, we know what is OOPS and the four pillars, but what are advantages of OOPS? Isn't it a bit silly? And what are disadvantages? Are there any disadvantages? Yes, there are advantages and also some disadvantages of OOPS. Okay, now we shall discuss some advantages of object-oriented programming and then we shall also discuss disadvantages. Now some advantages are, see, as we studied, it gives an enhanced reusable code. See, we can create a simple class and reuse it. Second advantage is it is easier to maintain. See, we previously discussed why OOPS answer. All the same points are coming here. It is easier to maintain or update any class. third thing, security. OOPS provides a better security due to its access specifiers and abstraction properties, right? Now, disadvantages. See, everyone might shock. Are there even disadvantages of OOPS? Yes, for sure they are. See, the main disadvantage of OOPS is it is very complex to write OOPS code. Okay, it is really very complex, and also one small mistake may fail your whole software. One small inheritance mistake may fail your whole software. Okay, now in Samsung S24 Plus, suppose if this S24 Plus is been not inherited from S24, if it was inherited from S20, finish, whole code is gone. Even to identify the mistake, it would take much time. Okay, it is one of the main disadvantage. Second is you need a perfect or proper planning, which is a bit complex again. And the third disadvantage is it is not suitable for all kind of problems. See, you might shock, but it's a truth. See, if I ask you, write code for sum. Simply what you will do, return a plus b, over, right? Finish. But in object oriented programming, to write that, we should write a class, we should create a object, we should write a function, we should get the output. Is a very huge time taking and long process. So now if an interviewer asks me, hey, what are advantages and disadvantages of object oriented programming? So advantages of object oriented programming are, so OOPS provides an enhanced code with reusability. Okay, so OOPS code is generally very easy to maintain and very easy to update. And the third advantage is OOPS code is more secure than others. So some of the disadvantages of OOPS are, OOPS code is very complex to write, and even a small error can alter the whole software. So OOPS need a very perfect and proper planning in order to create an OOPS code. And the third disadvantage is that it is not suitable for all kinds of problems. Like, it is not suitable to calculate sum or subtract. It will take a very long and useless code which might eat the memory. Okay, so once check the answer. Okay, so our next question is going to be something very different, very different. Okay, see, we shall go to that question. God, besides object-oriented programming, what other programming paradigms exist? Man, I will get shocked if I would not know this answer in the interview. I will literally say, oops, even this exists. See, this is a pure theoretical answer. See, generally it is not asked, but if it is a very big company and if they want to filter you, they will ask this question. This is one of the a great theoretical question, I should say. Okay, see, it is a theoretical question, so just listen. So actually programming paradigm means it's a kind of plan. Okay, see, mainly programming paradigm is divided into two types. Imperative paradigm. Imperative means kind of fixed plan, like we do in OOPS. Second is declarative programming. Declarative means in competitive programming we do, right? If someone gives us a question, simply we'll solve without any OOPS or submodules or functions. Now, under imperative programming, there are three types: procedural programming, object-oriented programming, which we discussed just now, and parallel processing. See, please don't deep dive into this because no one really much asks you about the definitions of this. Declarative is logical programming, which we generally write. See, if I got any idea, I'll just execute it. If I want to execute some kind of Fibonacci series, I'll be just writing the logic, I'll be just adding the previous two numbers and getting the answer. Okay, now the second is functional programming, where generally in order to in order to achieve a property of recursion or to work with problems with trees, we do functional programming. And third one is database programming, where generally we fetch, update and delete and perform CRUD operations on a database. Okay, if I see, please don't deep dive into the definitions, because just know what is it. See, procedural means it's just that it's like a kind of, it will be executed in procedures, a plan, according to a plan. Use means, you know it, classes, objects. Parallel processing means here code is divided into more submodules, more and more. Okay, now if I was asked this question, hey, besides object oriented programming, what other paradigms exist? So besides object oriented programming, other paradigms that exist are procedural programming, parallel processing, logic programming paradigm, functional programming paradigm, and database progressive paradigm, sir. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, now we shall go to our next question. Okay, shall go to our next question. Okay, what are the differences in between structured programming and object oriented programming? See, simple, dude, simple. This question already we completed. If this kind of any differences question is asked, simple. If he asks object oriented programming, write all the or say all the advantages of object oriented programming, and under structured programming, simple, say all the disadvantages of object oriented programming. Simple. See, structured programming means just like we'll be writing logic one by one, there will be no kind of classes, objects. Simply you can say the similar answer as, I think it was the 11th question, right? Yes, it is the 11th question. See all the disadvantages which I mentioned here, you can say as advantages, of structural programming. Okay, like if oops becomes complex for some problems, it is very simple. Structured programming is a very simple approach, and there is no perfect planning is required, and it is suitable for each and every coding problem. Okay, so same, you can refer 11th, same answer. It is just a cheap or copy, it's just a copy of that. Okay, now we shall go to our 14th question. Which programming language are commonly used in object oriented programming? I think no need to say, I think each and everyone know this answer, so I'm gonna straight I'm gonna go to the interview answer. Okay, hey, which programming languages are commonly used in object oriented programming paradigm? So some oops can be executed in many programming languages. Some popular languages in which oops is executed are C++, Java, Python, JavaScript, C#, and Ruby. So this would be my interview answer. Next, I said you at the start, I am going to discuss types of polymorphism in a different or separate question, because the types of polymorphism is again a different question. And listen, this is again one of the most complicated and one of the most asked previous year question. Okay, or any previous year question. Okay, no, just a minute. No, we shall go into the answer. Okay, see, basically if you ask this question first, say the definition of poly. Sir, poly means many. So polymorphism, see, first say definition of polymorphism a bit. Now we know polymorphism is of two types: compile time polymorphism, runtime, this pen changing thing, runtime polymorphism. Okay, Okay, see, as the name suggests, dude, first thing, this will be executed in the compile time, this will be executed in the runtime. Okay, here we are not talking differences, but just I'm saying. Now, actually, what is compile time polymorphism? I explained you. Suppose we need to execute two functions with different arguments but with same name, it can be achieved through compile time polymorphism. Here, as there is a difference in the number of arguments, compiler can understand. But in runtime polymorphism, the absolute beauty is there will be functions with same name, same return type, also same number of arguments. Dude, how can compiler understand this? That's why this is called runtime polymorphism, but not compile time polymorphism. See, we shall understand a practical example of this. See, in runtime polymorphism, what actually happens is, see, we shall take example of S24 class. Okay, now in this S24 class, Samsung has defined a function named camera. Okay, and when I click on the camera, I will be getting a HD high quality image. Okay, I will be getting a high quality image. Okay, that is good. But when I click an image in S24 plus, what happens is there is same function with same name. Okay, even it might have inputs like image input as a parameter. Here, if I click on the image, I of course get a HD image. I get an AI filtered HD image. Look here, what happened is the function name is same camera, but the execution is different. See, here I'll be getting an HD image, here I'll be getting an AI filtered HD image. So the execution of both is a bit different. So if I have to say this clearly, a function that is being already defined in the parent class, if it is overridden or again defined in the subclass with same name, same arguments and same return type, is known as runtime polymorphism or function overriding. So this is what the actual thing here. So runtime polymorphism is also called as function overriding, as we are overriding or changing the already existed one. Compile time polymorphism is also called as function overloading, as there is something to load, there is a function sum to load, but here we are overloading it by giving a function with same name but different or more arguments, which makes it overloading. So if I was asked this question in interview, what's our question? What are different types of polymorphism in object oriented programming? So generally, polymorphism is something that exists in many forms. It's the ability of an object to respond to the method call in a different phases. So basically, polymorphism is divided into two types: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Sir, compile time polymorphism, also called as function overloading, in this there are two or more functions with same name but with different arguments or a different return type, sir, and this will be executed in the compile time itself. So second type of polymorphism is runtime polymorphism, which is also known as function overriding. Sir, in a runtime polymorphism, there are two or more functions in the code with same name, same number of arguments and also same return type, where a child class function will override a function that is been already defined in the parent class, and this will be executed in the runtime serve. Okay, this is what our syllabus for today was, and I think most of you understood. Okay, so these are just 15 questions. So there are, see, 75% of oops is over, but still there are some important concepts which we need to discuss, like interfaces, types of inheritance, what is constructor, what is destructor, and one of the most tricky questions, what is virtual and what is a pure virtual function. So we shall discuss these questions in the next part of this video. We shall discuss in part 2. Okay, now thank you for watching the video. Thank you, learners.